Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to learn how to make this one side off shoulder kimono top and a matching pant. So it's going to be a two-set tutorial. So for this, I have my fabric on fold using my nape to sleeve length. So you measure the distance from your nape, the nape of your neck, to where you want the sleeve length to be. Mine is 17. I added 1 inch for hemming the bottom of the sleeve. Now the next thing I would mark is my top length. My top length is 33 plus 2 inches hemming allowance. That will be 35. So that's what I'll use for my top length. Now, after marking that, I'm going to mark my chest line for this. Now, for my chest line for this type of outfit is not the regular chest line. I like to divide my bust measurement by 4, then I'll subtract 1 inch. So my bust is 46, divided by 4 gives me 11.5. So I'm going to take away 1 inch, and that gave me 10.5. So 10.5 would be my chest line for this project. Afterwards, I'll mark my half length, my waist to hip length, and I'll go and extend all these points in a straight line. So this is my chest line. This is my half length, which is 18. This is my waist to hip, which is 9, and the length of my top. Now, after doing that, I'm going to start imputing my body measurements. So around this upper part, that's my top, my nape to sleeve length. Now at the chest line, I'm going to mark my bust measurement plus 8 inches divided by 4. Now it's a free top, it's not very fitted, so you need to add 8 inches to your body measurements, so to the bust, the waist, and the hip. So my bust is 46. I'm going to add 8 inches to that. Whatever I get, I divide that by 4. So my bust 46 plus 8 divided by 4 gives me 13.5. So I'm marking 13.5. So this will serve as both my seam allowance and my ease. Now for the waist, my waist is 44 plus 8 divided by 4 gives me 13. I'm going to make a mark at that. The hip is 46 as well, plus 8 divided by 4 gives me 13.5. So I'm also going to make a mark at 13.5, then mark the same thing at the length. So at the top length, I'm also marking 13.5. So I'm going to connect these points together. So from the bust I connect to the waist, then from the waist I connect to the hip. So using my ruler, I just connect from bust to waist, from waist to hip, then from hip to the length. Now when I'm making kimonos or fig, I don't like to take in my waist measurement. I like to have a little bit of ease because my belly is on the big side, so I like to have that freedom around that point. So no matter how little it is, I just leave it. Now for the upper part, which is my shoulder, I'm not going to be marking anything at this shoulder area because it has a one-sided one-sided shoulder. So I need to make sure that I have my 18 inches, which is my nape to sleeve length plus seam allowance. So I'm going to connect that from there to the length of my chest, at the chest line or the chest line. So at this side, I'll just make a slanted line because I don't want this to be straight. You need to curve it out so that it's not straight. So that's just all. What I did was just to make or bring down my nape to sleeve length at the chest line as well. Then I'll cut. This is like the easiest one to make. Even if you don't have any knowledge of tailoring, you can actually do this. You can pull this off. So you cut till you get to the chest line, then you curve inwards like this, then up until where you have the nape to the sleeve length. Okay, so that's just what I have done. Now this is just for the front. You're going to place this on your other fabric and cut exactly the same thing for the back. Okay, you can as well fold your fabric into 4 and cut at once. All right, so this is what I have here. I'm going to make a notch at the midpoint, okay, because we're not cutting out the neckline now. We're going to make a notch at the midpoint because it doesn't have the regular neckline. It has a one-sided one side off shoulder. So I'll open it up and I'm going to determine where I want the off shoulder to be at. And it's usually at the left hand side. So I'm just going to start making the mark. So now from my notched point, I'm going to mark towards the other side. I'm going to mark 3.5 inches, okay? Towards the right hand side. The one-sided off shoulder is towards the left hand side. Now from the midpoint where I notched, I'm going to come down by 4 inches. I want to come down by 4 inches. Then for the part where I want the one-sided off shoulder to be at, from my middle point, from the notched part, I'm going to mark half of my shoulder measurement plus 1 inch. My shoulder measurement is 18 divided by 2, that gives me 9. So plus 1 inch, that's 10. So from the notched point, I'm going to make a mark at 10, right? So I'm now going to connect from 3.5 that I marked to 4 inches, which is the neck depth. Then I'll connect it down to the 10 inches mark that I've made. Now, whenever you're making this, if you want to add 1 inch to this, that would be if you're going to use a bias to tape the neckline. But if you're going to hem, if you're going to fold it, please do not add 1 inch to half of your shoulder measurement, because folding or hemming it is going to further increase the neck width. So now for me, I want to use a bias, so I'm just going to leave it at 10. But if you don't want to use a bias, if you want to, hem this, please do not add 1 inch to half of your shoulder measurement. So you're going to connect from your neck width to the neck depth, okay, from that 3.5 to 4 inches neck depth. Then you're going to now slant it to the place you marked for the one-sided or shoulder. Okay, so that's what I have, you can see. Then I'm going to take it aside. Now what I will do next is to place this on another fabric and cut exactly the same thing. Okay, cut exactly the same thing. So I've gone ahead to cut the other fabric. Then after cutting, I want to trace out the neckline. So you're going to place it wrong side facing wrong side. Let the wrong side of the back face the wrong side of the upper part. So what this means is that the right side of the fabric will face you, then the right fabric of the back will face your table. So that way you cut it correctly. So let the wrong side of the fabric match. Then you go and trace the shape of the neckline like this. Okay, so having done that, this is from the front side. So having done that, you can now go and join your shoulder seam, open it up, okay, flip it to the wrong side, let the right side now match. Okay, you can see I've just done that. I flip it to the good side of the fabric, then join one side of the shoulder. The side that does not have the one-sided shoulder, that's the side they're going to join. So after joining, you're going to hem your top, the neckline, then also go ahead and join the other side of the shoulder. Afterwards, you go and hem the sleeve with half-inch, fold half-inch twice. Then you go and sew your side seam with half-inch seam allowance. Okay, I like to sew the side seam with half-inch seam allowance. Then afterwards, you're going to, if you don't like how the down part is, if you don't like it to be straight, you can fold it into two and step up by the side, step up by 1.5 inches like so. Then you're going to curve the hem. Okay, so that's pretty much it for it. Just step up by 1.5. You're going to curve it like so. Now let me further say how you're going to join this. Join one side of the shoulder, then go and tape your neckline with either bias or you fold it in depending on what you want to do. When you are done doing that, you join the other side of the shoulder. Then all right, welcome back. So for the shorts or for the pants, the short pants. So the short length is 20 plus 1 inch hemming allowance, that's 21. So from here, from the top of my fabric, I have marked 21. You can see. Now I want this to be a high waist pant. So my crotch length for this is 11. Okay, I actually want it to be very high waist, so I'll do 12. Then from that 12 inches, I'm going to step up by 2 inches, and that will become my hip length. That will become the waist to hip length. Okay, and this obviously is the waist. So that's how you go about your measurements for your pants. Okay, whatever you have as your crotch, and for my crotch, I just start on a plain surface and measured from where I pull my trouser. Okay, from where I like my trouser to start from to the top of that flat chair or the flat top face I start on. So this is crotch, this is hip, and this is the length. Okay, ignore this, and this is my waist. So here at the hem, I'm going to mark 2 inches. Okay, you can see that, and at the top part, I'm going to mark 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to connect from this waist to the hip. Okay, you can make it in a slant line. Okay, so that's going to give the shape of the hip. Then from this hip, I'm going to cover down to these 2 inches. That's to shape the side of the trouser or the shorts. Okay, the same method I use for making trouser. If this was going to be a trouser that the length is like very long, at the length of the trouser, I'm going to take in 2.5. Okay, then curve it straight like this. So it's going to give me the shape of trouser. So now that I have this shape already, I'm going to start with my tie measurements. I already have this shape. So from this place, I'll start taking my tie. That's round your lap. So mine is 28 and a half. I made it to be a bit free because the short, like you can see on the thumbnail, is not so fitted. So mine is 28.5 divided by 2. You divide your tie by 2. That gives me 12.75. So from here, you can see. You can see where my chalk line is. So from there, I'm going to mark 12.75. Okay, 12.75. Then I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance. It's a female trouser, a female short, so you don't need to add up to 2 inches. Or you can, even if you want to add some, maybe 1.5, so that it doesn't give you Parkinson's disease in front. It doesn't, like, give you folds and packings in front, not like Parkinson's disease, but just like it doesn't fold or pack in front. You understand what I mean? So 1 inch for me is okay. But for people that would want, but will now talk about seam allowance, so let's just do 1.5. Okay, since we like using half inch to sew the trouser. So I have 1.5. Now on this place, I'm going to take my hip measurement. So the hip is 46. I also made it to be a bit free. 46 divided by 4 gives me 11.5. So I'm going to make a mark at 11.5. Okay, 11.5. And I'm also going to add 1.5 inches seam allowance. Okay, then my waist is, for the trouser, it is 41.5. Let's just call it 42. Okay, it's 42. 42 divided by 4. So you can see I'm taking my measurements from. This is where I took my hip from. 11.5 plus 1.5. The same thing. This is where I'll now start taking my waist from. So the waist divided by 4 gives me 10.5. So I'm going to mark 10.5. Okay, plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. Now the reason I'm adding 1.5 is that I'll use half inch to sew this crotch area, then 1 inch for my side seam allowance. Okay, so it just balances it up. So I'm going to get my ruler that has seen hell, it has gone through a lot, it's passing through a lot. So I'm just going to connect from here to here. You can see it's almost a straight line. So connect from my waist to hip. I don't have so much, the difference between my waist and hip is not so much, so that's why it's looking like a straight line. Then from there I will then connect to the tie, so I can use my hip curve. So you can see the curve for a female pant is not too much, you can see, so that you don't have packings, folds. So just curve it like this, like I've done. Then at this lower part, you can just bring it down if you want, depending on how you want yours to be. So if you took your round knee measurement, okay, if you took the measurement around the place your short will stop, you can take the measurement, divide that measurement by 2. So I took mine to be 23. Okay, so 23, if I divide that by 2, I'm going to have 11.5. So I'm going to mark 11.5. Okay, plus obviously 1.5 inches seam allowance. So it's the same thing, as you can see. So just save yourself that stress and just connect from this place straight like this. As you can see, just connect straight, just save yourself that stress. So it's almost the same thing. And ladies and gentlemen, you have done drafting this. You're done, like done, literally done. So you can now go ahead and cut out. The next thing might be your band, to shaping the band and all of that, all of those things. So for me to shape the band, I want a band height of 2 inches. So I'm just going to take away 1.5. So the remaining half inch will be for seam allowance. Okay, I want my band height to be 2 inches. So because this is the fabric directly, it's not a pattern, so I'll take away 1.5, then leave half inch for seam allowance. Okay, so that's going to be the band. Now the front of your trouser or your shorts is usually not very straight like this. We are females, so if you leave it straight, except you want to add elastic to it and make it have ruffles, okay, just make it with elastic. Except you want that, you can leave and come down by 1 inch at this point. Okay, 1 inch from this crotch area, then connect it to this side, as you can see. So this is to further reduce the folds that is going to give you. Like I said, it's a female trouser, you don't want to have folds around this place. So now that I've done this, I can now start taking off the band heights that I want. So I want my band height to be 2 inches, so I'll take out 1.5, so I'll be left. So by the time I join the band back, I'll have half inch to couple it together. So I'm going to start taking half inch away from this point, so 1.5 inches away. You can see the way I'm doing it, 1.5 inches. Okay, so this When I cut this out, I'm going to place it on my fabric and cut out a band, and replace it. So a lot of people will be wondering, why do you want to put a band? Why can't you just use a lining to turn? That's if you were using the lining. Or why not just hem the upper part with a bias? If you want, you can do that. So if you don't want to go through the hassles of using bands, you can just cut out this part, then use your bias to tape it. Done. I need to start cutting. So this is the easiest method in the world on how to make shorts and trousers. Okay, with this one you don't have to start bothering your very beautiful head. Okay, you don't have to just start stressing your life. In this channel, I'm all about the easy way of making clothes, because tailoring on its own is really stressful most times. So if you have an easy way to do it, why not do it? So that is it. Before I get confused, let me cut out this part. Okay, so this is it. You can see the pants. Very okay. You can just go ahead and cut out, or you can join. After joining, you can now go and take out your band. Either way, anyhow you want it. Okay, but I would like to take out my band now, or you can leave the band for now till you're done cutting out the back. Please remember not to cut out the band till you're done drafting out the back. So for your back, you need to have at least 2 inches from the top. So I'm going to measure 2 inches like this. So for the back, make sure that you have up to 2 inches from the top like this, and up to 2 inches from the side as well. Then from the side like this, you want to have up to 2 inches, because the back needs a bit of allowances to be added. Okay, so these are the allowances I need: 2 inches upwards, 2 inches by the side. So I'm going to get my pattern on my ready cutter fabric and place it starting from the 2 inches line, and from top and bottom, from top and side. Okay, starting from the 2 inches line like this. You can see, so you can see that my hip area is touching the 2 inches from the side, and for the upper part as well is aligning with this part. Now, because it's a female trouser, I know that females are endowed at the back with bum that God created so well. So you need to add an extension to this place so it can accommodate your bum very well. So this extension is usually by 2 inches if your bum is not so much, then 2.5 and 3 inches if you carried all the blessings that God gave to humanity behind you. So I'm just going to add 2 inches because I was sharing more when they were sharing bum. So you can see that's my 2 inches. I'm going to extend it like this. Now, just to further help the bum, I'm going to, from this point, I'm going to step down by ½ inch. So remember, 2 inches, then step down by ½ inch. Now, the next thing would be to increase this area, because like I said, we have bum that God blessed us with at the back. So when you sit down, your bum pulls down the shorts at the back. So your bum will be exposed if you do not cover properly, or if you do not do this extension. Okay, so when you sit, the bum drags the shorts down and expose your upper bum. So you need to cover that up. That's why you need to come inwards at this point. You can see this is where the trousers started from. The crotch area, you need to come in by 2 inches. So I'm going to mark 2 inches. Okay, come in by 2 inches. Then this 2 inches is the extension for the bum. Now, when I come up by I came up by 2 inches when I was drafting. So now from this side, the stepping was by 2 inches, and that's to create the crotch for the back. Okay, here we stepped in by two. So I'm going to recurve to this point now, to this ½ inch that we stepped down by, and by the 2.2 inches that we added. So I can use my free hands to curve that out since my curve is in shakara. You can see. So this is the curve for the back like this, and this is longer and wider than that of the front because of course the bum needs space. Okay, so the bum needs space. Now when you're done, you can flip it back like this. So that's the curve, that's the crotch for the back, and you can see it ate into our fabric, like almost 2 inches into the fabric. That's why we left 2 inches extension by this side. That's why we left 2 inches seam allowance here, because it has already entered into the fabric. You can see that entered into the front by 2 inches. So if you do not leave this allowance, you'll be short of fabric. The next thing I need to do is to measure what I have at the waistline of the front. So you can see from here to here, I have around 12 inches. Let me measure from here. I have like 12.25. Okay. So from this line, now I'm going to measure on a slanted form. From here, this is the extension, the 2 inches extension we made for the bum, because this is the bum side. Okay, this place is the bum side, but this part is the side seam, so you don't need to extend the side seam. So like I said, I've measured what I have on the waist, around 12.25. So from here, I'm going to slant my tape to have like 12.25. So you can see that is why it extended into this place. You can see, so this is 12.25. This is where it landed me. So if I did not add 2 inches to the side, I'm going to be short of fabric. So I'm going to slant it like this. From this side seam, you can see. Now that I've done this, I'm going to remeasure to be sure it gives me 12.25, and that's exactly what I have. So now at this area, I'm just going to, from the crotch area, okay, I'll extend it like this. From this crotch area, like this. Because this other part has also entered, you can see. So I need to take it up like this to make up for these 2 inches we entered. Okay, so this is my hip area. This is the hip. I need to mark it out. So this is the hip. You need to make sure that you have your allowances, okay, so you don't have a shortage. I need to measure what I have on my hip. What I have here is 13. Okay, that's my hip plus seam allowance. So from here, I need to have 13. And you can see I have 13. You can see, so that's why you need to do this. You can see here I have 13, so I'm okay. So you don't need to retake the measurement, but just to be on the safer side. So when you do this, you then follow the curve of the front of the first one, okay, or for the front. The same thing for the lower side. Then from here, you can add 1 inch allowance here. You add 1 inch allowance here, then connect to the side, to the crotch area. All right, so I'm done. I hope I did not give you so much to think about. So let's cut. Okay, so I can take this out. All right, then cut. So this is it, the front and the back. Okay, so like I said, the back usually has this extension. So this is the back. So this is the back. I'm writing B on it to be sure. So this is the back. Now I can come to the back and take out my band. So like I said, I want a band of 2 inches. So I can take out 1.5. I've already explained this. So 1.5. So I've taken out 1.5 for the band. I'm going to cut it out. Now when I cut out, I'm going to notch this area to identify that this is the part that will sit on the short. So I need to notch. Then I'm also going to notch this area to identify that this is the part that would sit by the crotch area. So I'll show you how to redraft your band. So I'm also going to label it that this is the back. I'm going to write B on it. So this is the back. Or I can get pin and pin it to the back. Like this. So the back is done. Then for the front, remember I said you need to take out 1 inch like this so that you don't have it folding in front. So I need to go take out that 1 inch first. Okay, having done that, then this is my band of 1.5. I already explained this when I was cutting the front. So I'm going to go ahead, notch this part to indicate that this is the part along, not this part, this is the part along the crotch. Then notch this part, this is the part that sits on the pants like this. So I'm going to go ahead and sew. Now for me to couple this together, I'm going to join here. Now for this crotch area, because you're not lining this fabric, you need to place interfacing on it so that the crotch area will not tear on top. So it's not that when you enter back, you should just do cram. You need to interface this place. You can use your air stay to do it. So I'll go ahead and stitch here with 1/2 inch. The same thing for the back. I'll go and stitch all the way with 1/2 inch. Then when I'm done, I'll place it right side facing each other and take 1 inch allowance by the side. That was what I left. So I'm just going to go and take that. So I'll show you how to cut out the band. Now for the shorts, I've joined the sides, I've sewn the crotch area, the inseam, I've hemmed the bottom of my shorts. So the next thing is just to attach or fixing my band, sew up one side, then fix my zipper to the other side. So you can see I've finished up the shorts, the sides, the inseam, the hem. So I pinned the band according to the part I want to work with. So this is for the front. So what you do is to fold your fabric into two, then place your band on it. When you place your band on it, you trace the shape. The lower part of the band is the place we notched, the place that's supposed to sit on the shorts. Okay, so you're going to trace the sides and the lower part, then take it out. Remember, we want a band height of 2 inches, so you're going to get that 2 inches. Then you need 1/2 inch to sew the band to the shorts, then another 1/2 inch to turn the band with lining, because you're going to line the band as well. So that'll be 3 inches on the whole. 2 inches for the band height, 1/2 inch for sewing the band to the shorts, and 1/2 inch for turning the band with lining. So that's 3 inches. So you're going to start marking 3 inches from the line you've already made, from the shape that you traced out, okay, from the shape of the band that you traced out. So you're going to connect the points and then cut out. So that's just how to cut your band. This is how to draft and cut out your band. So when you cut this out, you're going to make sure that you replace the notches. You know, the part that we notched previously, you're going to notch the part that would sit on the short, and also the part that is going to the crotch area. So you need to do this thing so that you don't turn the band upside down. Now you need to cut lining for the band. Like I said, you would have to line the band, and you need to use the fabric as lining. You can't just go ahead and cut lining. Okay, you need to use the fabric as lining. So I'll just place it on my fabric and cut exactly the same thing. Now what I have done here is what I'm going to do to the other part of the band. This one I'm cutting out is for the front. When I'm going to cut the back, I'll follow this exact procedure to cut that of the back. So go ahead and trim out what you have. So I haven't said this. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and join the sewing community. So make sure you notch, very important, so that you don't, arrange this in a wrong way. So notch the part that would meet the shorts and the part that is along the crotch. So like I was saying, please try to subscribe to my channel. And if you're new here, you're very welcome. So I'm going to join the part that, goes along the crotch. So you're going to use 1/2 inch to couple that together. Okay, just the way you have sewn the crotch, that's the same way you're going to sew it, just with 1/2 inch like this. So when you sew it, you open it up, you're going to do the same to the other one. So the place that goes towards the crotch, you're going to couple it with 1/2 inch. Okay, so when you do that, you're going to open it up as well. You can see. So when you open it as like this, you're going to now place them on each other. You're going to use one to line the other one. So you're going to make sure that your notches are in one direction. Then the part that does not have notch is where you're going to sew up like this. So you're going to sew it all the way down. All right, so I've sewn, you can see this, I've sewn it on my machine. I've sewn the crotch area together. So I'm going to place it right side facing right side. Let the right side of the band face each other. Then the part that does not have the notch is the part I'm going to join with 1/2 inch. Remember I said I need 1/2 inch to turn the band with lining. So that is what I'm doing now. I'm turning the upper part of the band with lining, so you can see how I'm joining with half inch. Now when you're done joining this, you're going to go and notch it out and give it a good press. For the sake of this tutorial, and I was rushing so that they will not take lights, the issue of fuel in this country is something else, so I don't want to have to go to look for fuel to power the generator. So I'm just working so far. So when I'm done, I'm going to loosen all this out and iron properly and sew the way I would like to sew. So when you're done sewing, notch it and iron it. So this is what it's looking like. I haven't ironed though. So when you're done, this is what you look like. You give it a good press. Then you're going to get the short itself. Okay, then place the band on it. Let the right side of the band face the right side of the short. You match up the crotch area. Okay, match up the band on the crotch area. Let the two center fronts meet. Okay, the center front point meet. Then you're going to start sewing the half-inch allowance. Okay, so I have to just show this sewing aspect so that it doesn't confuse you. Okay, so you're just going to sew it with half-inch. As you're sewing, you're going to make sure that the inseam or the crotch area that they match up, the crotch area on the band and the crotch area on the shorts align, so that you'd have a very clean finishing. And like I said, let the right side of the band face the right side of the shorts. Okay, so either side of this band is the main part. Okay, one is the line, one is the main part, so whichever one you use is okay. That's why you need to line with your fabric. Okay, so when you are done, you're still going to notch out the place you've sewn. You can top stitch or even iron. Okay, then afterwards you're going to fold in half-inch at the top of the band. You can go and iron it down. So when you fold in half-inch at the top of the band, you now use it to cover your stitch. Okay, so you're going to iron in half-inch, then use it to cover the stitch that you have made, and that's how you just couple the band. That's it. So I'll just go ahead and sew it all the way down, and that is it. So whatever you've done to this side, you're going to repeat it on the other side. So when you iron this down, it's just going to help you lay it very easily. Okay, I'm using my hands to fold as I'm sewing, so if you're not working with light, you can do this gently and sew all the way to the down part. Then you can now go ahead and give it a very good press. It will still come out nice, but if you have the if you have access to light, I recommend that you iron as you sew, so that this will come out really neat. So this is how you couple your bands. I'm going to show you how this looks on me. Okay, the shorts and the kimono one-sided off-shoulder top. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have been working on. This is the 33 minutes of this video. This is what it looks like. This is my two-piece kimono top, one-sided off-shoulder kimono top and shorts. So this is what it looks like. This is the short. You can see the perfect fit on my short. I'm raising it up so that you can see that the short fits perfectly, and you can see the top as well. It's a kimono top with a one-sided off shoulder. So because YouTube is not permitting us to use songs, I am going to be dancing to the beat in my head. Alright, so this is what it looks like. You can style it any way you want. You can use what's it called, shoes, canvas. You can use heels, whatever way you want to style it. That this is now dependent on you. My own is to show you how to make this lovely outfit, and you decide how you style it. So guys, I hope you love this video. I hope you loved watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. So make sure you make yours and send me your pictures. I love you. Stay blessed. Bye.